Hello fellow Shadows, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about the second episode of Loki. Now, I did hear one of my friends say that they found this episode to be more entertaining, or to be better than episode 1. And I do stand by my friend who said that this episode is better than episode 1, because it is. So, pretty much what happens is Loki is forced, we go into, I believe it was Wisconsin, like the 1980s. And there's this Renaissance fair. And some people of the TVA goes to this area. And they get their ass handed to them. And Loki, Morbius, and a few TVA agents goes to the scene afterwards and investigates. And then afterwards, they go back to the time bureau, and Loki is forced to read all of the case files of the different versions of himself. And he eventually does, and then he goes back to Morbius, and he figures out what this new Loki is doing. And, every single time there's, some sort of apocalypse, this Loki, the female Loki, is there. And Morbius doesn't believe Loki until they actually go to a timeline where Loki is proven right. And so, long story short, they go to this one mini mall area. I want to say mini mall store area to locate this Loki. And Loki and the soldier that Loki fought in the last episode, specifically fought, I feel like when he was looking at his personal timeline, they go on one team, and Morbius and another, and Morbius goes in another team. Well, it's just random agents, and they see this guy who is looking at the plans. And keep in mind that the outside is storming, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, it's a hurricane cell, yeah." And then the woman says, "Could that be you?" Potentially. And they did, this guy touched the agent. And I'm guessing that's how Loki can keep their mind, the Lokis can keep their mind controls. Touching, the mind control will transfer from the host to the other person. And so, our Loki tries to make a deal with female Loki, but female Loki refuses. And so Loki gets into a fight with, well, I guess essentially himself, but female Loki is still mind controlling how do I put this? Their host. And so they fight, and then Loki finally asks, "What do you want from me?" And they have charges, right? They activate the charges, and that's when Loki says, "What do you want from me?" And the host drops, and then we hear Loki, the male Loki, our Loki, saying, "What do you want from me?" I know I'm kind of oversaturating, but my facial expressions were still. And then here comes, we see the female Loki hooded. She unhoods herself, she kind of Luke Skywalker said it. So she's kind of "Oh, you can't see my face. You can see my face. Let me take off my hood. Now you can see my face with my lovely crown. Yes, I'm not a guy. I'm a girl. I'm the girl for some you. Now what?" And so yeah, female Loki refused to Loki that it's not about him. And then after like the pods goes in time, creating different timelines, essentially the multiverse. Female Loki creates this time portal, to I guess the TVA headquarters. Loki's about to go in it when he's stopped by Morbius, running towards him for a few moments. Then Loki said, like, "Yeah, fuck you, bye, bitch." Goes in the portal. Morbius is frustrated. End of episode. And keep in mind that like there's the sacred timeline. So like a lot of the guards have been going to different places in time trying to stop female Loki from, I guess, plan of happening. Now I don't know how many episodes this show will have. So jump cut. Oh, okay. So this series will have a 6-part episode, 6-episode arc, and I do miss the days of when it shows like the shows in the Arrowverse for the like where it's like 23 episodes consistently. Well, Batwoman and Backline Eric, like, the exceptions, and the last season of Arrow, but my point of bringing the Arrowverse is that, for the most part, the shows that are in the Arrowverse has been 23 episodes. So there's a few episodes might have been filler, but we still got 23 episodes traditionally back in the day. Now, like, Loki and WandaVision, Bad Batch, what's this, a Star Wars thing? Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and The Witcher from what I've heard, and a few other shows are streaming, like The Umbrella Academy 2 S1. For the most part nowadays, it seems like shows are streaming on like Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu. I could be wrong about Hulu because I don't have it, so correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. But nowadays it feels like most shows that are streaming through like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, etc. are only like not even full season, like 23 episodes. It feels like at most it might be like 15, 16 episodes. At most nowadays. And I miss the days when shows were like the Arrowverse in terms of like how many episodes were there in a season. It was 23 episodes in like most of the Arrowverse shows, and yeah. So I miss that. I actually do miss that, and I mean, sure, it's fun. It's a fun ride, but I just wish it would be like a little bit longer. That's my only thing. But that's just me. I'm being picky. I know. So, what do you guys think about Loki episode 2, which is called The Variant? I personally enjoyed it. I found this episode to be better than episode 1, to me. I still found episode 1 to be entertaining, just I'm liking this. And here's my ultimate theory with the series. Yeah, episode 1 said, oh yeah, we are, there's a sacred timeline, and if you venture off this sacred timeline, then we're gonna find you, and we're gonna pretty much kill you. And it was because, like, if we catch you doing something you're not supposed to, then we're going to kill you practically, which, why didn't they go after Captain America when he went back in time to be with Peggy? I can kind of let him find himself slip a bit, but him going back in time to to be with Peggy for the rest of his life, that I could never understand. Ever. So that's just me. But so far, like, basing off this episode, yeah, I do think that they will create the multiverse. But you could say then that Avengers Endgame alone created the multiverse. A multiverse, I should say. So I guess this show's just trying to justify them having a multiverse even more. I don't know. But I do stand by that Avengers Endgame did leave it off with there being a multiverse. Not even to mention Loki disappearing in like the Avengers 1 like in 2012. But Captain America fighting himself. Potentially Tony Stark interacting with his father. Steve Rogers fighting himself. Steve Rogers going back in time to be with Peggy Carter. Nebula bring Gamora from like pre-Guardians of the Galaxy movie into present time for Endgame. And bring Thanos Thanos finding out that about the future. Endgame essentially created the multiverse, like, or I shouldn't say created, but introduced the multiverse. Essentially, with the whole time traveling thing. So that's just me. I think they're just trying to justify the whole multiverse thing more, so we can be more. Oh my freaking goodness! When we see Doctor Strange too, which is called Multiverse of Madness. I think that's what it's called. So that's just my ultimate theory about the entire series. What do you guys think about Loki episode 2, the variant? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you all who watched my review. I love you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another, and I catch you guys in the next video. Later, taters.